Well, good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Viewpoint for today. Wondermore here with you, along with my guests, one of whom is just about arriving. I'm sure. We'll be introducing them to you rather, in a jiffy. But in the meantime, just want to thank you so very much for joining us. Let's have yeah. Okay, we'll have our guests walk right in. Okay. All right. For you who might be watching on TV Carib, that's one of the ways that you can actually see those persons who are involved in the conversation. You can go to tvcarib.com. That's the live stream, by the way. Or you can go to my website, simojournal.com. There too, there's a banner right at the top. You just click on it and you would be able to see the conversation, or at least see the faces behind the conversation. And if you're listening to us on radio, which is customary, of course, it's always good to have you. All right, I'm here today with two persons who would be involved in an important project that I believe would be beneficial for the community. They'll explain all the details around it. I might as well introduce to you from the family, or rather from the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs, that is under the auspices of the VSR Ministry. Shanica Romney, she is here as the project manager for this information that will be provided, and she's joined by Ashma Berkel, who would be executing the project. Of course, they all would explain to us what this is all about. It's Thursday, January 8th, 2026. Good afternoon once again, and welcome to the show. Good afternoon to both of you, and thanks for coming in. Shanika, you've been trying to set this up for quite some time.
Yes.
But here we are.
Here we are.
I guess
finally.
it have all to do with how important it is.
Yes, definitely.
So let me start with you, as you are the project manager under the auspices of the VSR Ministry and the Department of Community Development and Family. That is Family and Humanitarian Affairs. That name is so long. You don't have anything to do with it.
I do not.
But the person who I should have asked that to was one of the initiators. But it is important because it does give the total content of what that department is doing in the community.
Yes.
So let's go, Shanika. As project manager, you said that you started recently. What do you want to let us know about yourself and your involvement with this department?
So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again, Mr. Wendermore, for having us. Happy New Year to everyone that is tuned in. So, my name is Shanica Romney, and I am a project manager at the Department of Community, Family, and Humanitarian Affairs. I know it's a very long name. The acronym that you may often see it within the media is CDFHA. So in this department, we focus on executing projects. So we are executional department within the Ministry of VSA, where we focus on executing projects that target vulnerable persons within our community or vulnerable groups. So there are a number of projects that you may have seen over the last couple of years. And also bear note, I recently started, so I will speak within my purview of the projects that I lead. But my colleagues also do a plethora of wonderful work as well, which Ashma has been involved in. So one of the projects that we have is the Women's Sewing Empowerment program, which
Women, what?
The Women's Sewing Empowerment
Sewing,
program.
okay.
Yes, so we have a women's sewing project, which is actually wrapping up this week. It lasted for about 3 months, where we had women sign up, they registered, and they had the opportunity under the leadership and the facilitation of Miss Joanne Schet from Lelo. She's a local seamstress, where they learn for themselves how to make a number of different items, from shirts to bags to pants, you name it, they learned it. And we had different levels. So we had one group that was the beginner's level, and then we had another group that was the intermediate level.
Okay.
So the whole purpose of this program was to give women within our community from a I don't like to call it like that, but they have additional means of earning an extra income by learning this skill.
Okay.
You know, so again, now these women, they walk out, and soon you will hear the feedback from this program. They walk out and they are more confident, because now they know, okay, if I have a little rip or something, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I can save a little where that is concerned. Or even now, some of them may have found a passion to continue and maybe make a business out of it for themselves.
Yeah.
So this is like one of the programs that we do. We also have the homelessness project that we also work with Ashma under one of her organizations as well. Ashma, I don't know if you want to go into that a bit.
So, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone again. My name is Ashma Berkel. I'm here representing the Caribbean Institute for Social Education Foundation, and a pleasant and happy, dynamic, and impactful new year to each and every one of you. All right, so just to touch a little bit on top of the Homeless Empowerment Project, our aim working with the department was to go out and collect data. We believe in data-driven policies, so collecting data on homelessness and rough sleepers, so persons sleeping outdoors under rough conditions, it was important to now document this, not only to bring awareness, but also to make more impactful and positive change in those families' lives. So we have been doing that for the last 6 months. The project ended on the 30th of December, and we're looking forward to see the next phase of it in 2026.
Yeah.
Social education.
So it's a Caribbean Institute for Social Education Foundation, CIFSEF.
Oh, all right. And that's the one you represent.
Yes.
That's what you're here representing.
Yes.
Fine.
Oh, but Wendell, I must say, under the Homeless Project,
Yeah.
it was a different organization. That was Leaders for Change. That's my foundation. So that's different.
Okay.
Yes.
And maybe you want to talk a little bit about that, because what comes to mind is the increase of such condition on the island, and whether, the data that you have would make any difference when it comes to policies.
So for us, what's important, because we have been doing this for a number of years, although our foundation has been established for the last 2 years, we have been doing this for over 10 years. It's literally just a group of young people that started this as a mission. We had a vision, and then at some point we decided we need to make this official if we really want to make change. And before this project, we have been working very closely with community development in many different aspects. But just to compound a little bit on what you're saying is that if I have to be real honest, the things that we see out there in the community and what we're faced with on a daily basis, because we try to go out at least 4 times a week, is really heartbreaking. In the last couple of months, we have identified a lot of our own people sleeping in cars. We see moms with kids sleeping in cars. We see seniors that are sleeping outdoors. What we also see in St.Maarten is that we are very prideful people. So during the daytime, we create such a nice bubble for people not to stereotype or judge or watch us. But we love to do night runs. It's in the evenings when you really tell the true story. But we don't impose our help on ourselves on people. We truly believe in meeting you where you are, and only when you are comfortable with sharing your story and meeting us, then is when we could see where we could help you. So not only by providing hot meals, we provide clothing, household items. We champion their cause. We also work with social affairs if they could get understand, if they could get an insurance card. So it's I can't say, and I often ask my team, are we really making a difference? Because we're
Identifying
reaching a
it
gap.
is making the difference to begin with.
Yes.
Because when you're ignoring it, it's like sweeping things under the rug.
Correct. But when you
So
have
you
to
are making a
watch-
difference.
It's hard when you have to bring a meal to a family in a car and you watch small children, 5, 6 years old, squeeze in with a mom in one small vehicle, knowing that they're exposed to people attacking them. We see that also happening. So this is why we're truly happy to work with the ministry, and the minister sees this as something very important, and we really want to champion this to make more sustainable avenues for these families and individuals.
Okay, that's a conversation for another day. For something
Yeah, when
different.
I tell you, that's going to take up a whole program.
Yes,
Yeah, I could imagine.
For sure.
So the Smart Tech program is what you're focusing on
Yeah.
at this moment. And Shanica, this is your baby, if I may put it that way, because you're the project manager.
I'm the project manager. I won't say it's my baby because this project has been done before in 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But now we're bringing it back, and it was supposed to be in 2025, but we're officially starting in 2026. And again, as we mentioned with the two previous programs, which are just two out of the many different programs that we have coming out of the department, again, we wanted to target another part of our community that we feel like may not often be seen and may need additional help. So the Smart Tech program is actually a senior computer literacy program that we have, where oftentimes, our seniors, especially with modern day, everything now is on the phone, it's on the computer, and we don't want to have our seniors be left behind where that is concerned. So through this program, they will have the opportunity to learn these skills, to adapt with what is happening now in the current world, and to have the assistance in a safe manner with their peers to be able to, sometimes do even the basic that we take for granted. Okay. And I mean, a lot of us as young people, we have the experience of oftentimes your grandmother, your grandfather, your auntie, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And also this is a way to empower them to feel a bit more self-sufficient, in the times that they may not be able to ask the help, or they may feel like, oh, I don't want to harass them again. They now have the skills and are better equipped to go through and do what they have to do on the phone and the computer.
What about the hardware itself? Because that might be another challenge for them to have access.
Sorry?
The hardware. The
hardware. Oh,
the computer itself.
Yes.
Because it's one thing to want to learn based on what you might be teaching them.
That's true.
But having access to the computer, that's quite another.
That's true.
Is that taken up in your plan?
Right now is more so focusing on the skills, the technical skills of using the computer. However, it is important to know that we do have multiple help desks that is in association with our department. Okay. So a lot of people may hear the word help desk, but not often know like where they are or what are their purpose. But we have a multiple help desks. So we have one in Hope Estate, which is near the school. We have one in Dutch Quarter, so the Dutch Quarter Community Help Desk, which is in the same location as Dr. Sanchit, because people often mistake the community center with the help desk. We also have the St. Peter's Help Desk, which is at the St. Peter's Community Center. And then we also have the Cold Bay Help Desk. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes if seniors or anyone feel like, hey, I do not have any access to a computer, they can go to the help desk, and they are usually open in the mornings from 8:30 to 12. And a colleague will be there to guide them and give them the assistance. Mm-hmm.
So, what about, well, you're going to execute, Ms. Berkel, you're going to execute the project. And I wonder if I believe most people, it's safe to say that most people have a smartphone of sorts, and they can be used as well.
Correct. So our aim, even when we did the first cohort with the department back in 2022, we started this before as well, because we saw the importance of breaching that gap. Because what we were always hearing from seniors when they come to visit is that, what Shanica said, hey, I have to depend on my grandchild, or I have to pay somebody. So hearing constantly that seniors are paying this X amount of money just to type a basic letter is baffling, So we decided, hey, guys, this is something we need to incorporate and push more harder. And through the ministry, we were able to expand that, because many seniors as well cannot afford to pay computer classes. So what I always tell persons is that if you have a laptop, it's a plus, but it should not limit you to gain knowledge, because that same smartphone that we utilize on a daily basis, whether it's to just play a simple game or to scroll Facebook, it is a smartphone. And we ask seniors, do you have a smartphone? They're like, no. I say, you have WhatsApp on your phone? Yes. You just go on Facebook, my granddaughter download it and I see everything. Darling, then you have a smartphone. And they're so thrilled, But for us, it's really just connecting with the senior, ensuring that they know the tricks and the tips,
Yeah.
Also to protect them about scams and spams and cyber attacks. So just these key things, but also how to maneuver. Because what you could do on a computer, you could do it on your smartphone. You could use
Basically.
Microsoft Word
Yes.
if you want to do a basic shopping list, if you want to take a note, you know. So these are the things that we're aiming to work with the senior, but we also want to integrate young people with them.
Okay.
So then we get that conversation, the
the
intergenerational aspect as well.
And I'm just thinking as you speak, and I wonder if this is part of the project too as well, like maybe introducing them to like an email as sorts.
Oh yes.
Because
Yes.
there they can write whatever they need to write, and you send it, and you also get your response as well. But you
Correct.
have to be email savvy.
So in the classroom, we're literally doing that. They're emailing each other.
Oh.
Those who have an email, I need to know that you know how to attach a document, because working with government or SFV, you often have to attach something. Do you know how to scan a document? I teach you the basic of what to do to get your things done. For those who don't have an email, that's another process. But before you move further, you must leave there with an email address and learn the same skills.
Yeah.
as
But you
those
think
that
all
most
of this is
advanced.
necessary, right, for the seniors
Where we
who are
are
making
today,
transitions? Yeah.
Where we are today with technology is more than necessary, because the more we move forward, especially with AI, right? The more we move forward with technology is the more backward our seniors go, and the more cost they put on themselves.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there honestly just don't have a heart. They see income.
Yeah.
So watching a senior for simple things, they could easily charge them a $30, $50. When I say, and I show that individual, that student in the class, I literally did this in 2 minutes. And I teach them also, hey, can you use ChatGPT? This is literally where your letter come from, because I take your letter, I put it back in, and it shows me this is what the person did, and they charge you $35. So I'm teaching them these tricks that people use, but also what they could do on a very simple level to execute their own tasks.
Are they adopting? You started this project already?
Oh,
Shanica?
we started years ago, back in 2022 with the ministry.
Yeah.
But CISF started this like back in, I believe, 2020.
Yeah.
But
But in 2022, that was the first cohort, right?
Yes.
And then this is the second cohort, and I believe in 2022 we more started with senior
organizations.
Oh.
So this time,
Correct.
especially why we're here on the radio, is because we have opened it up to the seniors within the community. So whether you are within a senior organization or not, that you have the opportunity to sign up and take advantage of this program.
Is there any surprises in terms of the amount of people that still don't use the technology of today?
There's a lot of people that's scared. A lot of seniors are scared. They're scared that if I scan my ID and I upload it, maybe somebody will tap into my bank account. If I do online banking, is it safe? And they tell it to me in class, and they share that's their fear. But if we watch how everything is going now, online banking, it's important for senior to know this is what to do to check. And what we see often is that seniors come to us and they say, hey, I have online banking, but I don't manage it. I have someone else managing for me. Or my grandchild is managing, or a neighbor. And this becomes an issue, because when we now show them different aspects, then you see, hey, there's a red flag. So how to identify those red flags, and how to blatantly ask the right people for the right help.
So this project is going to be going on, Shanica, for how long?
So it's a 3-month project. We aim to start in February and end in May. And so it will be classes that will be happening twice a week. And because we have opened it up to the public, we will have classes twice a day. So we'd have a morning session and an afternoon session.
How do people get involved? Seniors
So-
in particular, because they're the ones, it seems, that you're pitching after.
Yes, definitely. So seniors from age 60 and above can register. And then we have a registration form that is online and attached to our flyer.
You're going online already.
Yes, but Well, I mean, the registration form is there. And I must say, though, despite that, we do have different means. So we even have a phone call, because just this morning I saw my colleagues getting phone calls like, hey, I want to register. And my colleagues are available within the department. Once you tell them your information on the phone, they fill it in and it's in the form. So the form is just a more easier tool for the both of us to keep track, more so like the monitor and evaluation parts of it, to ensure like, okay, this is the number, we reach our cap. And then we can move on from there. But for the seniors, although we say registration form, there are many different ways that you can get in contact with us, with myself, or even with Ashma, to ensure that you are registered. If it's just calling saying, hey, put my name on the list, it's no problem, because we will follow up and get those details after.
Would you mind providing a number? Because, you know,
Yes.
I'm not naive that there are people out there who really would like to take
yes,
advantage of the service.
And there's persons that mightn't even, probably they don't have access to a phone or internet or even to this radio or radio channel. So tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.
Much
Yes.
for the word.
But what kind of numbers you're pitching after in terms of the maximum amount of people?
So we do 15 persons per class. And that's because we're aiming to have about 3 to 4 facilitators at any given time in the class. Okay. With the 2 session, that means we are aiming to have 30 persons per day.
I'm trying not to underestimate the amount of people that can take advantage of this.
Oh yeah.
Hence the reason why, if you have a cap as to the amount of persons that can get help. So all they need to do is to get to you or
Yes.
get to the department.
Yes. So you
And
can
the numbers?
The numbers, you can contact us on 559-0819. So that's also WhatsApp as well. So once you call or you WhatsApp that number, and I'll repeat it again, 559-0819, and then that will be directly to the Department of CDFHA.
And the process of registering can begin right there.
Yes, it can begin right there. So even if you feel like, oh, I don't know how to fill in the online form, that's no problem. You can just make a phone call and one of us will be there to assist you.
All right.
And in the event, Ashma, they can also call you.
Correct. In the event you cannot reach a department or they're busy at the moment, feel free to call 527-6381. You will reach me direct or send me a WhatsApp, and I will follow the same process as Shanica. But providing that we still have opening come next week, Wednesday, at our location at the Whitefield building downstairs.
Well, that's where.
That's where the
course.
classes will be taking
Oh,
place. So at the Whitefield building in town on the Pondfield, downstairs, that's CSF classrooms. Persons could walk in next week, Wednesday. And they could do their final registration with me, and I will be happy to help them before we close off.
All right, we'll talk some more about that. But for those of you who might know a family member, a senior, or you yourself might be listening and think that this is something that you might want to do, the numbers are 559-0819. And I'm giving you this number because there are other ways that you can reach. But if it's all about technology and the use of it, I would want to believe that you're not there just yet. Those persons who are interested. So to get the connection, which is most important, you can call 559-0819. That is the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs. That is a WhatsApp number you said, right? You see people are calling you already? And 527, this is for Ashma, 6381, and she's one of the executors of this project, so she would be a familiar face around when it comes to learning these new skills and the use of new technology. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk a little bit more about what this whole thing can mean for you and can transform your life and, make things a little bit easier in our modern world. We'll be right back, folks. And welcome back to our discussion today. Joining me for this discussion is Shanica Romney. She is the project manager for Smart Tech project, which is operated on the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs. Yes, such a department exists, and we should take full advantage of it. I'm saying that, Shanica, I said that because at one point I was totally surprised that such a department exists and what it can do for the community once they're showing interest. You talk about having done a sewing project before. I think that was excellent. And it's not just for them being able to turn it into a business, they can do it for themselves and for their family at home. Yeah. And that can lead to something else different. So the Smart Tech project, I think, would certainly help the seniors, because I've often wondered when government itself and some of the services that they are providing to the community, much needed services, SZV, and all these other important institutions of government are making themselves only accessible online. And another thing that may come into the picture, Miss Berkel, is they would have to have internet service as well, which is another expense that some people can't even carry.
Correct.
And all of these things, we talk about modernizing everything, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But how much people are we leaving behind
Oh, wow.
when we talk about the most exciting thing is to modernize these department and this whole idea? Nothing wrong with it. We love to see that, because that's where the world is going today. But we have to take some other people into consideration, and
correct.
we often fail to do that. So these projects are something that I would applaud for sure. And so this is the one you're working on at present. We
Yes.
gave them as much information necessary as to how they can get themselves involved.
Definitely.
And I wonder if there is anything else that we might want to share in relation to that, that we might not have touched. Anything on your mind?
Not necessarily. I think, especially to the last point that you mentioned, in terms of like, oftentimes we take it for granted how easy it is for us to pick up a phone, go on WhatsApp, like you mentioned, access to the internet. We don't realize how much of a privilege it is to have access to this. And I feel like projects like this often allow for us to take a step back and really take others into consideration and see how we can meet them where they are at.
But
and
that's where you come in, right?
yes, and oftentimes, and I really applaud our department, where a lot of our projects force us to take the step back and meet people where they're at, because as Ashma mentioned, oftentimes as individuals, and we don't mean no harm by it, we go about our day to day, we live in our bubble, and we feel like this is life. This is how St.Maarten is. But oftentimes when you do these programs, you realize, no, we really have to, look out for even the smallest man, the most vulnerable man in our community,
Yeah.
So a community as strong as the weakest person in it, and we need to find ourselves in a position where we can empower and uplift them and give them as much resources as possible. So again, I'm just hoping to anyone that hears us right now on the radio, see the flyer. I know oftentimes when we think about learning a new skill, especially when it comes to the computer, it may seem a bit intimidating, scary. It seems like, this world that I don't understand, but know that there are a group of people out there that are willing to help you and guide you. And even though we say it's 3 months, oftentimes, and I see it a lot in our programs, you build a community, you build a family, where you feel like, okay, I'm no longer alone. So you walk out with a new best friend, or new people that it sometimes go bypass just learning a new skill.
Yeah.
But now you have a whole new community that's there to support you in many other ways. So it's not only about the skill, but also about fostering that connection with others within the community.
Do you often have people following up and asking questions about other things that might not be something you've dealt with, but they're looking for help?
Yes, so I've seen it within our other programs. For example, everything is a cycle, So, for example, like in the women's sewing program, there was one lady, she's there to learn a skill, but then she found, like the confidence to share some personal details with us. And then we were like, oh, but do you know that we have a legal aid program? That, for free, there are lawyers that volunteer their time. They come in once a month and you can share your grievances and get the assistance. Okay. So even like that is the ripple effect. like what I mentioned in terms of like you sign up for one thing, but then being in connection with the right people, you find yourself having that additional support, you know. So that's usually it. And again, like I mentioned, I guess the interactions, because you build that trust and the communication with the participants, oftentimes they come and they start to tell you other things where you find yourself, okay, maybe how can I assist? So who do I know can further assist this person? So
Is there a reason for you centralizing this particular project, like in a neutral place at Weifel?
not necessarily. I think it's based on the organization's expertise and their accreditation, that we believe that they are one of the best ones out there that can execute it.
Yeah, but I was thinking that way too, because if reaching you is in these help desks in the different community,
Yes.
if you're in one community and this you're putting on a program and it's in another community, because you can't be all
Yeah, it's true.
everywhere at the
It's
same
true.
time.
Yeah.
So I wondered maybe that's the reason why. Or Ashma, you have anything to add to why you think? I mean, maybe because of your involvement too as well. That's the most suitable place to have such a project.
Okay, so CSF was founded initially by Mr. Thompson back in 2002, and I came on as a youth back then at 15 years, and I got the opportunity to learn computer skills. And I was exposed to more than computer skills, hospitality, there's a number of different training. And for my passion for community, I decided to stick around from then to now. Weifel is a central area that's very accessible to most, and for seniors it's very easy, quite easy. So I think that's key. But we also function very differently. Like Shanica said, I don't see it as a teacher-student approach. We welcome you as a family. So almost every senior from all of the organizations from the first cohort, we still visit these seniors. A lot of seniors continue with us, so their children or somebody sponsor them to continue taking more classes. So it's never when you finish, that's the end. And what we did to motivate and encourage other seniors, we actually took on 2 seniors that went through the program, and they started helping us facilitate our Smart Tech course. And this was to motivate other seniors that these ladies started with no knowledge, but today they are a facilitator that is teaching you the same skills that they learned. So nothing is impossible. And all 3 of us may be in the same class. It is not an expectation that we give one lesson and you have to follow on that level. No. Whatever level you're on, or I'm on, I meet you there, and we grow from there together. So we might not have the same lessons in class, but at the end of the day, we will meet the requirement. You know, it's just that we're very creative in how we deliver our work.
What it's like working with seniors, though.
I love them. I love them bad.
There is good reason to really appreciate them, but at the same time, something.
There's fight for us now, because when you see they get attachment to you, and then you come in class on you and come, and I stay late too long with Shanica, hearing this, then I have to turn my neck slightly. Darling, I'm coming to you just now. Okay, darling, I go wait. But it's all about giving everyone attention, because at the end of the day, we watch an individual come in the class. Okay, they come to learn this, but we go beyond what you come to learn, because you come into the classroom, I don't know what you're coming with. Maybe your mind is full. Maybe at home you don't have something to eat. We still offer slight tea, and we believe in the bush tea thing. We ain't doing coffee with seniors. We're going bush tea all the way, But they also tell us stories. So we go back, and so class may be 2 hours, but class sometimes be 3 hours. Because by the time we finish the talk, and they tell us about, life.
Are you worried about the progressiveness of technology nowadays, and the fact that as much as you're helping people to get started, because even me, I remember when the word came out about computers, that you'll be able to connect with each other all around the world. and then emails, and then this, and then that. But sometimes you're slow in being able to
Yeah.
catch up.
And we have students like that. So if I can be honest, we have when we identify students like that, we do indicate it in our report. But on my personal decision, I always give them extra. So the program may finish, but you will stay with me an extra month.
Okay.
Because the aim is not
Yeah.
only that, hey, the 3 months you work
Yeah.
with the ministry, but if I feel we did not meet that gap with you, it doesn't make sense. So we need to continue working with you.
Yeah.
What we see is that after the program, seniors go home. They have no access to computer or they
Yeah.
don't have Wi-Fi. That is the issue.
Yeah.
Because we provide computers to every person that walk in there.
That hold them back, wouldn't it? Hold them back from really
Progress.
progressing,
Yes.
getting
And
into
this
it.
is why we say when you learn these skills, you can't go back and sit and do nothing on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You
You need to
must
practice.
practice it. And I'm happy that through the help desk, they could always go in their community, whether it's for an hour or half an hour,
And use
just
the
go play
service.
around with the computer,
Yeah.
practice what you learn. They will get a booklet so they can do some repeat work. But we are always available. So all of our group chats that we did since 2022, 2023, 2024, all of these group chats with all of the senior homes, they're still active. Because if a senior have an issue or if they want to ask a question, they will reach out to me or they post it in the group chat and the coordinator will probably reach out.
Shanica, do you have in the help desk? Sorry. In the many help desks, do you have like free Wi-Fi service for like people who come by?
Yeah. Yeah, once they come in, they mention like, "Hey, can I
Because
use
if
this
they
space?"
want- yes,
yes,
that's right.
definitely. You have access to that. Once the community officer is there, yes, you have full
Yeah.
access to that. And the help desk is open from Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 12.
Yeah, and I'm speaking primarily for the seniors.
Yeah.
Because I know there are other people who can take advantage of this too as
Yeah.
well. I mean, no point intended, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah.
you know how that can be. But making it available for seniors, I think, is a welcome project
Yes.
because
Well, the not to cut you off, Wendell, but also the help desk at Hope Estate is actually specifically a senior help desk. So there, a lot of them they usually know to go to that help desk at in Guana Bay in Hope Estate. Where they can have access to the computer if they just need a space to go and sit down to write, or they need assistance and they need a colleague's help with anything, they usually go there. So there is a specific help desk dedicated to seniors, but they are definitely free to go to the other help desks as well. So yeah, I just wanted to make emphasis on that. So we do keep them in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you come to share this because I know that I connect on a regular basis with a lot of people who their only form of medium for them to voice their concern and to get their message across is radio. They can pick up the phone, they can call me,
Yeah.
and then they're free to say whatever they have to say. And I know some of them, of course, would be more than willing
Yeah.
to take the training once it is available. And if you don't know, there's no other way that you're going to be able to
Yeah.
get that training.
Yeah.
And I think the help desk is doing, not the help desk then, but the community
program.
development department is doing a wonderful job when it comes to singling out, finding these niche areas that can use the services
Yeah.
and providing that help. So why don't you use the couple of minutes that we have remaining to just speak to those folks who can use the service and have not made the decision just yet to do so. What can they do to be a part of it, and when it would be happening,
Yes.
and we had the whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
So those of you that are still tuned in with us, we hope that you are. I again would like to encourage you, even if you are not a senior in yourself, but you may know a senior within your community that you think that can benefit from this. Again, we all need to look out for one another. So of course that we are targeting the seniors, but to our young people as well. You have the skills and the means. You know how to top up a phone, if anything, to have data. If you think, maybe I can register someone, I can help them, be something as small as dedicate time to get them there, please do so. Play your role in the community, because oftentimes persons like myself, like Ashma, we can just do our part to a certain limit, but it takes everyone to come together to make this program and all the other initiatives successful. So once again, coming from the Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs, I would like to encourage you to please sign up for our Smart Tech program. Our registration is still open until next week, Friday, January 17th. As my colleague Ashma mentioned, there will be a walk-in at the Whitefield building next week, Wednesday, and that will be in the afternoon from 1 p.m.
to 3 p.m.
to 3 p.m. So in the event that you feel like, I don't have the means to register, or you just want to come and talk to Ashma, get more insights about the program, please use this as an opportunity to go there and meet with Ashma to see what you can learn. And also maybe, again, if you're a bit fearful, and we understand those feelings as well, it's normal to feel that way, especially when you're doing something new. Please use this as an opportunity to just quiet the noise and see how Ashma can I know she'll do a good job in making you sign up. And we hope to see in our program starting in February, because we want to see you at the end where we're celebrating your new skill, know?
Ashma, I want to ask you, just to wrap up the whole discussion, what it's like when because you've been working with these programs for quite some time.
Yes.
But what it's like when you see somebody get the gist of it, and they can handle themselves, how they express themselves, can you describe it quickly?
They cry and I cry. We cry. We're criers. Like the joy of watching somebody
get the hang
reach a
of it.
step
Yes.
that they thought they would never reach.
Yeah.
And just watching that joy on their face that they could do it. And watching them create something for you as a facilitator and display it in class, that brings joy.
Yeah.
And
I
so
guess that would calm that nervous person who don't want to begin because there's a certain amount of apprehension to get
don't
started.
Be nervous, or just come one day. I always tell people, just work with me one day. After one day, if you're not comfortable, it's okay.
But often they will
But
be
just
back.
give me only one day. But after that one day doesn't leave. I never had nobody that ever leaves. So I always just tell them, give me one day of your time. And that's it. I need.
Ashma, thank you for what you're doing, especially for seniors.
I love it.
And for the humanitarian desk. And I keep mixing them up. Community development, family and humanitarian affairs. What you're doing also to be able to identify these areas that you can provide assistance, it all helps with the development of all of us.
Yes.
Not just the youth and the young people of today, but just about everybody. So thank you once again for what you're doing and for what the Ministry of Affairs have set up.
Yes.
Very important. All right, thank you for the good conversation. Yes, you want to add one final
last thing? I
Yes.
had to correct Wendell because I said to you 30, that's only part, but the whole cap is actually 60 persons.
Oh,
Okay? So it's 4 days per week.
okay.
30 persons, 2 days per week, 2 hours per day.
All right. They get it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for today, folks. We thank you so much for your patience and for hearing us out. Hopefully, you would know someone, if you are not one of those persons who can make use of this service, you would know someone who would be able to benefit. And we all, one hand, help each other, and we just move forward. That's it for today, Thursday. We'll be back again tomorrow on Friday. And we are extending an invitation for you to join us tomorrow. We'll have another interesting topic that we'll be dealing with, and you can be a part of it. You take care of yourself, folks. Over to the newsroom we go. Goodbye.